What is up, people? Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. It has been, it's been a hellish nightmare of a week, and we're here.
I
That's
would
about
just
all I
like to
got.
open and say we have been saying it for a year. We are indeed the farmers.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. England crashing out of Europe in all different stadiums. Big up Aston Villa, who managed to not go out of Europe. That's it. Congratulations to Italy for their 19 Champions League spots they're going to get next season. And yeah, so that's all great news. But the show must go on. FA Cup semifinals, a big Cup Chasers derby, Manchester City versus Chelsea. Hopefully it's a hangover and Chelsea can put another death nail in the treble coffin. We can only hope. And of course, everyone except for United fans are Coventry fans this weekend as well.
Let's go.
And Everton versus Forest at the bottom. Burnley and Sheffield. And Luton Town hosting Brentford. Can the Bees, or will it be the Hatters? Who's going to do it down there at the bottom? Massive, massive games. And of course, Arsenal can still go top. Liverpool could still go top. It's all to play for. See who's going to bounce back, of course. But right out the rip, let's get the likes up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. We're on our way to the magical 1,000. And get the little bell on for all the match reactions, all of the previews, all of the good content coming out.
Do it.
And of course, you know where we're starting. You know where we have to start. Arsenal, just like Bukayo Saka, limp out of the Champions League. An absolute whimper. It was an absolute whimper.
Dude, that corner,
disgusting.
Come on, man.
Disgusting. Right after he's taken the free kick way too quickly, right outside the box where we could have set something up, bro. And that was off the back of 15 minutes of just heartless shuffling around, not really going for it, just kind of, man, I was
watching it and I'm like, so Arsenal, are you gonna try something here, or are you just gonna keep your empty possession like you've had all game?
So Arteta panicked. I mean, personally, I think we lost this in the first leg.
I agree.
When he panicked there and cost us the game in the second half. When Raya panicked, when Gabriel the first game cost us, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But in this game, when he put Kai back into the center, just so he could get everybody on the field, that's what he does, right? There's no real plan B. It's let's sacrifice defenders to get attackers on the field. And then hope. Because once Kai comes back into that center, Martinelli's on an island. There's no support. And as much as I hated Zinchenko and didn't want him to be in this game, when Kai's in the middle, you kind of need somebody. And Tomiyasu's not the same kind of inversion, not the same kind of up and back defender. And so there was nothing on the left-hand side at all.
He's your classic old school left back. He's
Tomiyasu,
defend and defend, but he's not going to pretty much do much offensively.
But we did that. Shut Sane down all day long. Gabriel Martinelli helped out a lot with that as well, but we sacrificed this attacking impetus on the left to do that.
I was about to say, do you think that you should have, I think this game was very segmented for me. I rewatched both of them. This game was very segmented for me. It was the first 20 minutes. It felt like you had Bayern, and they were more than happy to sit on their heels. And you had them on your heels. And Martinelli missed some chances. Y'all missed some big chances, hitting it straight at Neuer, one-on-ones. Neuer had a big save. And it felt like after that first 20 minutes, they stave you off. The game becomes a little bit more even. It's a battle in the midfield. about 10, 15 minutes.
Totally lost you, bro. Is your thing plugged in? You're coming in and out. I can't hear you. There he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. So it was, it was like I was saying, the first 20 minutes felt like you had Bayern really back on their heels. You were in their face. Martinelli missed some big chances. Like I was saying, Neuer had some decent saves. You had them awake right at the rip. And it was then and after that, it was a good another 20 minutes of y'all battling it out in the midfield, and both teams didn't want to get scored on. Like neither one of you wanted to make a mistake, and I felt like halftime came at the wrong time for you guys. And I don't know what was necessarily changed so much as to what either manager did tactically, but when you came back out at half, it felt like it was exactly flipped. Like Bayern were in your face a little bit more. You had to get men behind the ball. You had to sacrifice Martinelli. He had to work back. And
you want to know what it is?
They were a little bit more in your face.
You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because they sat back in that first half and realized they're scared. They're nervous. And they're not going to score. They might create a half chance. They're going to hit it right at Neuer. They're not going to score. This was the halftime talk from Tuchel. He's like, they're not going to score. And so Bayern came out in that second half and said, look, let's put it on them.
Yep.
Let's go at them. Because all evidence is that they're about to crumble. And we didn't. I think the mentality was better. It wasn't great, but it was better. I think that we had a lot of, like you said, aimless possession in that first half. I think the one or two chances in the Champions League, when you get them, you got to sink them. Have to, especially at tough away grounds like the Allianz. And we didn't do that. But it was just, I put my head down when he brought Kai into the midfield. I knew it then. I was like, man. There was actually a moment too when, you saw it when the goal went in, we died.
Oh yes, it was a dagger.
We Bruce Willis style, die hard, bro. We died hard, and I literally 5 minutes after the goal, I remember I was on my knees screaming at the television, not because the ref had made a mistake, not because we'd missed, or because they weren't running. I was screaming at the TV, run, go, 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 because there was just nothing.
Nope.
Nothing. And on the goal, we switch off once. Tomiyasu switches off one time, and Sane gets a ball across. Raya doesn't deal with it. What have I said about...
Oh, yeah, it was a free header.
What have I said about Ben White's 1v1 defending?
He backs off and backs off.
All season. Bro, not everyone's running at you.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone is running at you. Guerrero didn't even take a step. He's like, oh, you're going to... Thanks. I'll just cross this into a super dangerous area, and we don't track Kimmich. 1-0. And it was like, oh, well, we're never going to come back now. We're effed. Game over. Done. Done and dusted. Look at the games yesterday. Madrid threw the whole sink at Dortmund and got wrecked on the counter.
Yep.
Where was that? Where was that? Man City threw everything. Everything they have. De Bruyne threw everything. Haaland threw. Then they threw on other guys who threw everything at. They threw everything they possibly could, and Homer Simpson didn't even flinch.
I know, that was great.
That was the greatest meme ever.
That was a perfect example.
That was the greatest video ever, Lewis. You sent us. But that's my point. We didn't do that. We didn't do that at all. Bayern were comfy. And I was very, very, very upset with that. But Arteta got it all wrong, man. She got it all wrong. And it's
And I didn't feel like the Allianz was like that loud the whole time. Like it
you can
wasn't
hear
like
the Arsenal fans. You can
yeah,
hear
you
Arsenal fans
right.
half the
It
time.
wasn't like you walked into this super pressure cooker
No.
like with it. Not like what Atletico walked into when they went to Dortmund.
Exactly.
Like,
Dortmund. Whew.
like
But
it
we
wasn't
just
like that.
we just didn't give ourselves the best opportunities tactically.
No.
You know, I think we were too. I think in the end, we're both the team and Arteta are just too afraid to lose. I think our issue with the mentality is that both in the first game and in this one, and even in the Villa game, we were too afraid to lose. You know, and I remember in the preview, I said, "Look, this is it. It's time to gamble. It's time to throw every idea you got, everything you got. You know, there's no like saving players for the run-in. We're here. This is
the run-in.
This is the game.
This
and
is
who did
the
we
run-in.
not see? Who did we not? Who didn't play a single minute? Thomas Partey.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. When the lineup came out, I'm like,
what in the hell, man? First of all, Jorginho had been our best midfielder because of all people to have a stinker.
yeah, Rice wasn't good.
Declan Rice had a horrible game, man. It's so disappointing, dude. Misplaced pass after misplaced pass after getting run by, like... And yeah, it's Musiala, it's Kimmich, it's Goretzka. These guys are ballers. I get it. And you're going to get run past. I understand that. But, man, Rice had a poor game. Definitely had a poor game. And Odegaard went missing. You know, we stopped. We stopped when they scored. And when we needed somebody to step up, Saka was nowhere to be found. Like, there was one moment where I got so upset with Gabriel Martinelli. They pass him the ball, and he's got an opportunity for a one-on-one. It was Sane. It was Sane who was on his side. Was kind of lazily drifting back to sort of do the double team, you know? And Martinelli, instead of running at Guerrero, just goes and passes it all back to Tomiyasu. Dude, we're down. We're losing in the Champions League quarterfinal. This is it. There's no... Go at the man. Make something happen. Where are the players in this team to make something happen? And you know who that's on? You know who that's on? Once again, Mikel, why don't you tell me why Eddie Nketiah has a contract? He's shit. Why does Emil Smith-Rowe have a contract? Didn't see him. Why does Fabio Vieira have a contract? No, I don't like him, and no, I don't think he's good enough, but...
He doesn't trust them in big games. He's not going to...
Homie hasn't been in an Instagram post in 6 months. He's a ghost!
It's Academy
I have not
Connor,
seen
dude.
Fabio Vieira, dude. I have not seen him.
Fabio's from the Academy, too, isn't he?
The bigger question is why...
No, he's a $35 million buy from Porto last season.
So it's just
$35 million just gone. Just
But again, the biggest question is so we didn't see Partey against Villa, and we're like, oh, they're saving him for
what Rice had to do.
Then we don't see him in the biggest game of the year. Like, I know you still have a league chance and all that, but this was the biggest game of the year, and you still don't see him. And it's like, what? And I mean, you know, props to Jorginho. I think he feels comfortable in that kind of element. More so in the league because he doesn't get as exploited as much like he does in the league. But yeah, you needed, like, seeing Partey not on the lineup. I really started to question, like, what is he trying to do here? Is he trying to get this to penalties? But if even that was the case, you would think he would have played.
I was just shocked that instead of taking off, and instead of just straight swap Jorginho for Partey and give him 18 minutes because you wait forever to make subs. 18 minutes. My man is on the bench. You're telling me he's on the bench and he can't play 18 minutes. Are you out of your mind? When we're losing? I don't care if he's at 42%. It's 18 minutes and we're down a goal. We got to do something.
No.
Do something. But instead, Partey got to sit there and watch us go out with our tail between our legs. 1-0, by the way, to 1 goal. It's not like we lost 3-0 in the first round and then, come on. Where was the fight? Where was the heart at the end of that game? Yeah. It's the only game in the Champions League quarterfinals where there wasn't one team throwing blows and another team batting down the hatches. That was the only game that didn't go like that. It's the only one. What the hell? And it all comes back to Arteta. You signed Havertz to make us better. He has not gotten us elevated. What's he gotten us? 4 goals better? Like yes, I got behind him because he was improving. He's had a better season than he ever had at Chelsea. Great. You're doing good things. But you're $65 million. Yeah, that gets thrown out a lot. You know what doesn't get thrown out a lot? He's on $275 a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's our top earner.
Mm-hmm. That's the
top
standard.
Paid. What is the top paid man at the club supposed to do?
That's the standard, right? That's what I was screaming. Now you know what kind of boat I was in with Raheem Sterling. Now you know how I feel. That's the standard.
What is the top earner supposed to be doing?
Being the top producer. He's supposed to being the most improvement. He's supposed to being the glue that holds it together. He's supposed to be that one that gets you.
Homie ain't even close. Kai Havertz has turned me around. I don't hate him like I did when he came into the club, but he's not doing enough. He's clearly not doing enough.
I mean, that's how he was for us. He would produce.
And Arteta bought him day one of the last transfer.
Oh yeah,
market.
that was
the first signing of everyone last season. And now we're like, oh yeah, let's go get Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon. Let's go sign Openda from Leipzig. There's no star power in this team. You know what it takes to win the Champions League? It takes buying an Erling Haaland after 4 straight seasons of depressing defeats in the Champions League. Yeah. That's what it takes.
Yeah,
and we're not one Erling Haaland away from a Champions League win. You look at our team versus Bayern. We are a good team. We are sound tactically. Yes. We're strong defensively as a unit. Bayern are badass individuals.
Yes.
Everyone
on that squad has the ability to just put a dagger in you. Even when they bring in Thomas, bro.
That's the Champions League.
Right.
I think the dagger though was the Eric Dyer got man of the match.
I mean, he had a good. They let him have a good game.
Whatever. Yeah, we didn't do enough to make him look bad. So
and
you know what? All these people getting mad that Neuer and Muller and all these guys are talking trash. Of course they're talking trash.
Bro, they've been there 6 or 7 times.
If I beat them in the Champions League quarterfinal at their ground, I'd be talking mad shit. Of course, that's part of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Baby.
Well, it's funny because
it's Champions League soccer.
There was an interview with Muller today, and his tone is totally different about Madrid, obvious reasons. But it's more of respect, and it's not like taking shots or anything. And what I was going to say though was I think what really kind of ties this all up in a bow. You're bringing on Nketiah. You're bringing on who else did you bring on?
Trossard and Jesus.
Trossard and Jesus. Bayern's bringing on, I don't even remember their subs. Who were their subs? Hold on. Let me see. Bayern. Arsenal. So, let's see. Their subs were Upamecano, Kim Min-jae. They only had 2 subs.
Yep. Upamecano came in late in the game.
I thought Mueller came on, but he didn't.
No.
Goretzka
was having a game, bro.
Yeah, he was. He really was.
Goretzka was having a game.
Goretzka was fantastic both games.
Yeah. Well, Goretzka had a game.
Yeah.
And like Jake was saying, I blame Rice and Havertz a little. If you're going to let him have that much space in your side of the diamond, he's going to shine, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was, yeah. But it was a tale of two halves because in that first half, we were winning more second balls. We were able to
in their face. You had them on their heels. Or they
realized,
you on their heels.
They realized, we as a collection of individuals, we are superior to them. I think Arsenal are a better team.
Yes.
And with better tactics, and I think that we have a more progressive style where we actually try to like attack and win games. Bayern with Tuchel have looked more of a sit back and counter, but that's fine. That's fine.
That's what he wanted.
When you have Gnabry, when you have Sane, when you have Coman, when you have Kane, like that's fine. And they're fantastic at it.
Yep.
And so I hadn't watched a lot of Bayern beforehand, and I hadn't really studied them. Now I'm thinking, now that I can kind of get a little bit past the pain. Of course, it's still there, but Madrid Bayern's gonna be fun.
Oh, Madrid Bayern's gonna be fun.
It hurts. It hurts for both of us, Lewis. I know, but it's gonna be fun. But in the end, I think for Arteta and the boys, it's just an inexperienced thing. And there's been a lot of talk about Arteta out and he's horrible and he's this and I think he's really gotten it completely wrong for the Bayern tie, just awfully wrong on both games. And but hopefully we can learn. Hopefully we can get better. And yes, I wanted to win the Champions League. Yes, I'm gutted, but in my deep down, I knew if possibly the greatest team we've ever seen took them 4 seasons to win the Champions League.
Yeah. Well,
when Pep got there. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, the Champions League's just different gravy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the team that's supposed to win
doesn't always.
Doesn't usually win. Like, let me ask you this, guys, and be honest. Were Chelsea ever supposed to win the Champions League at any point ever in any season? Have Chelsea been favorites?
No, the United
favorites to win.
The United in Moscow.
No. At the beginning of the season, were Chelsea ever favorites to win a Champions League?
Yes, but I think that was after Jose's prem, right?
Both teams that won it, both Chelsea teams that won it had no business anywhere near the final.
But they were built for the Champions League.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
that's my point. That's my whole point.
Right.
Yeah, and we are.
They were built for the Champions League. They weren't built.
Arsenal are a good league team.
That's why it was so gutting. When we lost in Russia.
Yeah, even worse because Terry's the one that hit it in the Z19.
Tripped on the spot, bro. He had the Gerrard slip of the week.
I remember, and I made fun of you for it, if I recall, because I'm a dick.
Yeah, but and I hate. That's where my burning hatred of United and their fans.
Yeah.
All
speaking of burning hatred, Lewis.
Bro, I felt bad for this. I felt bad for this game as a neutral. I just felt bad for this game.
Heartbreak, dude. Heartbreak. What you telling me, man?
Well, I mean, I look at it like this. I mean, obviously, I wanted the team to win, and it was funny after, and I've said this before. Why do I look like that? Okay, I don't know. Okay, after Madrid scored their goal, which it was what it was, right? And it was just the moment lapse that every game City does. I think all teams do it, but City does it for sure. City looks super hungry after that because if obviously if you watch the game, you saw both teams were kind of like really slow paced. They really weren't going after each other. As soon as that goal went in, everything changed. Everybody's like, time to go after it.
What?
Because at that point, it wasn't like, hey, we're trying to, just trying to, needle our way around and figure it out. They're like, nope, time to go. And I mean, as a City supporter, it is my opinion, and I mean the stats kind of say that City. I mean, if the ball had gone in the goal, they were battering them the whole game. Like it wasn't a close game at all.
No.
Like anybody who watched the game would be like, City didn't win that game because they took. I mean, was what 33 shots to like 4 or something like that.
A fulfillion,
They sat
as
on
you
their
like to
defense.
say.
They sat on their defense. But that's why they
I'll look it up. But as you like to say, a fulfillion.
In addition to that, again, and I don't have I know we sent some things about the substitutions. I know
33.
Jack Grealish did exactly what he was supposed to do in that game. Like Jack was eating him, and I was disappointed that he took Grealish off. I was fine with Doku coming on. I had a feeling Doku would do what he did, and Doku played really well when he came on in the game. But I thought, and I'm being honest, I thought Doku was going to come on for Bernardo. I'm like, yeah, he's definitely coming on for Bernardo because the way Jack was just eating Carvajal on that side, I'm like, okay, well, we're going to get him. And he was playing soft. They threw an extra defender in there. And I felt if they put Doku on the other side, because Bernardo was there, but he was off it, which, his penalty showed. But the funny thing is that the reason he shot that penalty, I saw the background of that. The reason he shot that penalty is he did that to Kepa in a shootout, and Kepa told the keeper that's what he would do. So that's what he did, and it was what it was. But also, and I'm not blaming this on there because he did what he did, the super long wait for him to get the ball because somehow there was no ball on the field in between
That
that. Like
happened today in the Villa game too. It was
Villa
weird.
shootout.
But there's literally balls all around the field. Just give him a ball.
Well, they wanted that ball,
So
bro. That
the
was
the ball boys doing their bit.
bro.
So-
I as a fan, I'm gone. If he hits that to me and I get that ball, I'm gone. Out.
It's crazy because even then,
I'm out. You're not
Even-
getting that one back. I'm
even then,
gone.
looking
I
at
don't
it-
care if I miss the game.
you look at that and you say, okay, well, he did that. But I thought Bernardo was better when Doku came on, but I thought Bernardo was kind of like pedestrian for a lot of the game. And then they moved Foden in the middle, and then all of a sudden the whole thing opened up. And that's where he was supposed to be, but Foden was on the wing. And, it is what it is. I mean, I understand why Pep did what he did. And because, again, it was just sort of the style of game. I thought De Bruyne was decent. Haaland, the criticisms of him are interesting because we're going to call a spade a spade. He's a big man, but he doesn't play like a big man. So his hold-up play was mediocre, and I'm being nice to say that. It was mediocre at best. He couldn't control the ball. He couldn't pass it to anyone. If it hit him, he was either falling on the ground or he didn't really do anything with it. So being honest, it didn't make any sense to pass him the ball forward. So when Alvarez came on, I wasn't opposed to that because I understood that. Now, apparently he has to come off. I don't know if it's true or not. It doesn't matter. Looking at the game, I would have taken him off anyways because he wasn't effective up front. And because in this game, and again, when you state things in press conferences, it takes stuff away. Before he was taking up 2 men. In this game, he wasn't because there was really no reason to do that. So at that point, if he's not taking up 2 men and he's not scoring and he's not holding up the ball, put your other striker on. You put your other striker on, and you hopefully you get some movement in and out there. And I thought Alvarez was decent while he was on there. I thought De Bruyne was fine in the middle. Rodri was decent, but he wasn't great. He wasn't great.
I didn't think he had a good game.
He wasn't great, but and one criticism that people had, and I agree with the criticism, and I understood why he didn't play Stones, is you want him top, but Akanji had so many runs forward, but when he beat them, he didn't know what to do with the ball. He had no idea what to do with the ball. So again, we literally battered them.
Classic center back.
Battered them. He didn't know what to do, and
Like
it was
Gary
funny
Cahill.
because again, you also saw a Gavardiol do it too. There were several times where there were runs in front of him, and all he had to do was play it, and he didn't. because again, even though he's played fullback, there were some runs he missed as well. And I understand it's a control style. So there was a lot of things they missed. And you said it, Jake. I'm sure. I think you said it as well, Patrick and X. Like you just can't keep missing those opportunities because
Right.
you take 33 of them, but you needed 2 of them to go in. And so with that, I look at that, and so in the moment is disappointing. At post mortem, the result is the result because, for example, taking De Bruyne off. I mean, you can criticize taking De Bruyne off, and I'm not saying you, but people can criticize it. But then I also look, and I'm being honest. Okay, De Bruyne scored the goal to equalize. Cool, but he also missed a giant sitter.
Oh, he missed a
Giant sitter. The game was over if he scores that because they weren't coming back. You could see in the second half they were camped, completely bus parked. They weren't running. They was dying. They was falling on the ground. They was injured every 2 seconds. He scores that goal. Game is over. Game is over.
Is he hurt?
No, they said he was tired. I don't know. But here's why. When I saw the change, I wasn't mad at it for the following reason. One, it looked like we were going to score. Just the way they were going, it looked like we were going to score. The second thing is if I'm Pep, long term, if my team looks like they're going to score and they're eventually going to do that, so I'm not worried about playing for penalties because Pep clearly wasn't playing for penalties. He's playing to win.
No, he was trying to. I'm gonna get this over the line.
And because of that, I didn't have a problem with Kovacic coming in, and I didn't have a problem with
Stones came in.
Spider-Man coming in. Stones and the Spider-Man. I didn't have a problem with them because I thought they fixed whatever would have been there because obviously Stones fixed the Akanji thing and not passing. Alvarez would have done better than in Holland. And De Bruyne was tired, but Foden was in the middle, so you didn't need him to create because Foden would have done it. So I was fine with all of those changes, but I also thought this was the first thought I had. I said, okay, that's weird, but then I thought they still got to win all their other games. If you play this guy and he burns out in this game, you don't have him for the rest of the season. And if I'm a big picture guy, yes, a treble is wonderful. It is wonderful, but this is the quarterfinals. This is not the semifinals. This is the quarterfinals. And so if I'm big picturing it, I got a semifinal on Saturday, and I have to win the rest of my games in the season. Am I willing to lose him in this one for all of those games?
But it's Champions League, though. This is the biggest one.
No, well, I'm again, if I'm looking at treble, and I'm looking at my team, and my team is battering the other team, do I really feel like I need De Bruyne to score goals when I have the last game that showed I didn't need him to score goals?
I just feel with 10 minutes to go, man.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem.
You got to be thinking that it's.
I disagree. Yeah.
I don't have a problem.
At 10 minutes to go, I'm not subbing him. I'm not
I
subbing
wouldn't be
him.
taking him
You
off.
remember how pissed I was when they took Odegaard off against Villa?
Well,
I was
You
livid.
know he's in the lineup 4-1.
But
You know he's in the
here's my
lineup
thing.
4-1 if he's on
Here's
the
my
field.
thing why it matters because Pep has literally been on both ends of this stick. And so he made the best decision, and I'm going to trust his decision. Pep was on one end of the stick where he said, Kevin, I need you to play through. And then he went out in the final and blew his leg out. Was that worth it? Because we lost. So that wasn't worth it. Then you have another one where you say, okay, I'm a baby him and let him go. And then you get what you wanted. Yes, it's the Champions League. Do I want Kevin past this year? Because if Kevin tears his leg up this year in this game, does he ever play again? And I'm being realistic about that. Does he ever play again? And my answer is no.
Not at City, not at that level.
How long is he going to play anyway?
Well, if I know I can get Kevin De Bruyne for 2 more seasons and I'm going to build around that and I don't have to depend on him like I did before, then I'm going to trust the team that I put together, the team that got me here. Because if you look at it, if they're truly a team, then I trust every single guy I put in there, and every substitute showed that he had a replacement because everyone says City is deep and they have replacements for everybody. Well, he literally put on the replacements for those people. Yeah. He did like for likes. Foden has been on fire, and Bernardo went where he was. Everybody did what they. If one of the goals go in, no one has an opinion on this at all. No one, and so this is all down to bad penalty takes because Ederson said the save the first one was great, right? And Modric took a bad penalty, but then you got the Kovacic miss, which it was bad, and then you had the Bernardo miss. At that point, you're like,
Got it.
you're just hoping they miss. That's all you're hoping for.
I hear you that it's the other guys should be able to get it over the line. You've built a squad that should be able to pick up the slack when Kevin's not around. But also the Champions League, winning the Champions League is about individual brilliance in individual moments. And when you need somebody to pop up, even the great and mighty Man City have days where they need somebody to pull them through.
Mm-hmm.
And more times than not, in the last 6, however many years, KDB is that guy. And so for him to ask to come off the field is what's blowing my mind. Now, if that's not true, whatever. It doesn't really bother me. For him to come out of the game at all is still, it baffles me. And I think it's a gamble because of how good Kevin De Bruyne is. Yes, Foden is on fire. Yes, Alvarez is World Cup champion. Yes, Doku is good, and Grealish has this quality, and Haaland scores 50 goals. None of them are KDB.
But I mean,
and with that, but you KDB literally went out in consecutive finals. You got us at this point, and I get your points, and I support that. But at some point, if you're saying, well, we need brilliance, well, I saw Kovacic bring some brilliance. I saw Rodri bring brilliance. I've seen guys bring brilliance. So for me, if I'm the manager, I'm going to take the hit. I understand the optics of it, but I also understand the optics of the locker room is if my guys are dog tired or they can't go. And I've had a guy who literally has ended their season with injuries, like long injuries, and I still have a long season left. I look at the morale of my team and say, I'm going to trust you because you've shown me last week and the week before and all the other weeks that you're worth it. But I have recency to use.
Then trust them Saturday. Trust those guys against Chelsea who are not Real Madrid.
No, but with that, but even with that, you say Real Madrid, and we're using sort of that history FC mentality. But we watched the game, and City battered them even after they went off. So it wasn't like they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. So what indication did they give that the level dropped? The level didn't drop. The ball didn't go in.
I mean, KDB's still the MVP.
I mean, this is
of the 90. He's the MVP of the 90. By definition, the level dropped.
Missed the sitter. He missed the sitter. Haaland missed like 3.
Haaland's a League 2 player apparently.
No, but I'm talking.
They miss sitters. They're gonna miss sometimes.
But the point is, you said moments of brilliance. Well, Foden was our moments of brilliance last week, and Bernardo was the Bernardo. So he kept the guys who performed against that team. I mean, if I'm a manager, that's my logic. You don't gotta, and I'm not saying you, but the people outside the locker room don't have to like it. I understand, but I'm not gonna get stuck in I can't let these guys play because the same guy missed one, and Bernardo, the guy you swear you can depend on. I mean, it was ugly, absolutely ugly. So I get
just one of those things.
I understand.
You go for that. You hit it. You're a hero. You're cheeky. You're cool as the other side of the pillow. You go for it and you miss. You're a donkey. Everyone knows that's the risk. It just is what it is.
But I understand your points, and I'm not opposed to your points. I completely get it. But it's sort of like, all right, I have to take the big picture perspective of there had to be a reason behind it, and there's still two trophies to play for. So why not play for them? Right?
No, there's not. No, there's.
Yeah, when De Bruyne Dragonite hyper beams on Noel Petrovic on Saturday, we'll know that Pep wins in the end.
In the knee. I will kick you in the knee.
Kick you in the knee.
Oh my gosh. No, it's gonna be Sanchez. Wild card, baby. Thank God.
I get what Lewis is saying, and I actually don't disagree with it one bit. I understand viewing it in a non just single game situation, especially once you've won it, yes, you want to win it again, but it's not like a life and death situation like it would have been last year. Because if they had won it last year, it would have been like, oh my God, we've got to win it this year kind of thing.
He plays the whole game if it was last year.
Right. I agree. So I understand that. I think the biggest question, though, is, are you confident with the guys you've picked to be the PK takers? Because you took off one in Holland, which I understand. You changed up what you were doing. That made total sense. I get it. Also, I think Alvarez is pretty good on PKs, if I remember right. You took off KDB. We know he's good on PKs. Do you feel more comfortable with KDB taking that PK or Kovacic?
At that
I
point,
don't think you feel enough less with Kovacic that matters. But like we said, it's a gamble because he's not thinking about penalties.
No, he's not.
He's completely disregarded the penalties.
Right, but it's like
if I'm at a disadvantage because of the penalties, it's because we didn't do our job.
And I understand that, and I get that. But at some point during the game, you have to start thinking, not the first 30 minutes of the extra time, mind you, like someone. But at some point in the game, you have to start thinking, like, hey, this may go to penalties. Who do I want on the field for penalties?
X has got PTSD. Look at him. Sorry, go on.
Listen, we're gonna exercise the demons. I think we'll see, but I agree. You got a big game Saturday against Chelsea. Depending on how you approach that will be interesting.
Big game.
Especially knowing that you've got some guys who played 120 minutes.
We've been on the beach, baby.
Poch is going to play for penalties out the rip just to make him go another 120 minutes.
That may be his
We'll get there. I'm sorry, Patrick. Go
Stop
on.
it. Stop it. No, we know. All right, here's the litmus.
No, we'll get there. We'll get there. Hold on. We'll get there.
But my point being is I get what you're saying, Lewis. The goal now, if this was last year, and the question was, do we want the league or do we want Champions League? You're taking Champions League. The goal now, since you've now become the favorite, so to speak, to win the league is the league at this point. So I understand thinking about that. But I also understand from a fan point of view saying, did we put our best foot forward to still win the game late? And not just in open play, but did we put our best foot forward to win the game late when it came to winning a penalty showdown?
Or hear me out. That was Pep's wild card, and that's the bluff. Like, he knew the typical PK takers up there. He knew the goalie's going to study. Ancelotti's going to study. He knows Ancelotti knows his 5. So
except professionals study 11, not 5.
Yeah. No, it's the first 5, right? That's what the.
No, I'm saying professional goalkeepers will study every player.
The 11. So he throws out the guys who aren't suspected to be there to try to get the leg.
He's gonna sub Ortega on for a penalty.
I mean, he had his goalie take one. So
not to play goalkeeper. Ederson's staying on just to take a penalty.
But everyone knows Ederson is one of the best penalty takers on the team.
His PK was fantastic.
Yeah,
he's great.
Oh, and he just stepped up like whatever.
But I will say this, I talk about killers and killer mentality, and just when you have that moment, you take it and you just squeeze the life out of someone. That was Rudy when it came to that PK.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was nailing that.
Cool.
Nobody
banged it. No.
Cool customer for sure.
Absolutely, but I'm gonna throw my quick thing. I respect to Real Madrid, but they literally went into that game and I've never seen them be History FC. They were History FC that day because they just thought reputation would get them there. For example, like this narrative about Bellingham, he literally did nothing.
He did nothing until
Did
that
nothing.
I mean, the touch for the goal.
The touch for the goal was
The
not.
touch to bring it out of the air was absolutely sick.
And then we got to look at the other 120 minutes. You gonna give
That's it.
one?
That's it.
We'll give
That's
one
all I
minute?
needed.
All
That's
I
all
said,
needed.
I didn't say anything about Bellingham. I said his touch to bring it out of the air was
No, I'm not
great.
talking
I
about
said
you.
nothing else.
It's straight.
Well, I mean,
But I felt the same way. I was like,
he did nothing.
because I forgot that he had the assist for the goal. Well, no, he would have had the assist for the goal, but
He had the pre-assist, the
he
pass
had the
before the
pre-assist.
assist.
He had the hockey assist.
Dude, I really felt bad because that.
But I was sitting there like, what has Jude done today? Because it did
Nothing.
feel like that.
He didn't do anything in the last game either. He just fell on the ground and cried the whole game last one. Just like, I don't know if you talked about Mbappe. Mbappe didn't do anything.
We haven't talked about it.
Anything.
That is wonderful. A wonderful.
He
segue.
scored
You
two
know how-
goals though.
You know how
Segues
weird. He
are
didn't
weird.
He didn't do anything.
He didn't do
did
anything.
nothing.
Come on, man.
The praise he is getting on Instagram and in the media is ridiculous. Do people watch the games before they go and give their match reactions?
Because he did nothing.
No.
He did nothing in this game. You know why he got a goal? Because he was the penalty taker. If you go look at Dembele's goal, the first goal that PSG scored, Mbappe, swing and a miss, strike one, complete whiff
Nothing.
in the 6-yard box. And Dembele's like, oh, let me mop up for you because that was a sitter. And then it was Kunde, who had a fantastic game, and he was great in the first leg, who has the only mistake he's made in 180 minutes, and Mbappe's in the 6th for the tap-in.
Oh.
Those were Mbappe's goals.
He did
The
nothing.
penalty
I
kick.
thought you were-
The penalty kick.
Araujo.
No. The penalty kick. Oh yeah,
Bro,
and
that's
the
a
red card
madness.
is ridiculous. It's a horrifying
It's a
call.
madness.
It's a terrible call.
For that early, oh my
It's
god.
a terrible call.
It changes,
For me, that's an awful.
it changes
awful
the
decision.
entire trajectory of that entire leg.
I think Xavi Hernandez does protest. Methinks he does protest too much. You know, he's a little loud with his protestations, Mr. Hernandez, but he's right on this one.
Oh, he was 1000%
Because that's the cheapest, most ridiculous red card I've ever seen in such a high-profile game.
Well, if we're going to talk about high-profile players, Lamine Yamal, bro.
They lied about his age. He's actually 19. He's actually 20. He's not actually 16. Because holy
there's
crap.
no way he's that good at 16.
Dude's
Like,
crazy.
I kept on rewinding it. I kept on like trying to find replays of it because it was so just like, bro,
He's
you
good,
don't
man.
do that.
He's too good. He's too
Like,
good.
you're
The
not-
Classico on Sunday. The Classico on Sunday is going to be fun, man.
Yeah.
He's too good, dude. He's too good. But you know, the other game was fantastic as well. Dortmund 4, Atletico 2, bro. This game was nuts. Dortmund up
They don't know how
2.
to quit, bro.
Dortmund up 2
They just don't know how
to
quit.
draw level in the tie.
Yep.
I don't know, to go ahead in the tie. They're ahead in the tie, 3-2. Atletico Madrid level it in like 4 minutes. And I'm like,
The wild
and
ride.
I had Dortmund on the iPad. I was watching PSG Barca on the TV.
computer.
I had Dortmund Atletico on the iPad.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kept having to turn the volume back up on the iPad because they kept scoring goals. I was like, oh my God. And then about 30 minutes later, in another 4-minute span, boom, boom,
Bang bang.
game over, baby.
Yep.
Dortmund, dude.
This is where I get on my soapbox. Chelsea Football Club. You have a left back issue.
Where this is going.
You have a manager that didn't even look at this guy as a left back. He put him as a left mid. Like,
That's all you do, though, man. There was, you know how many Chelsea players are littered across Europe right now?
Oh
yeah.
Dude, get this. Romelu Lukaku got injured today.
I saw that.
Who came in for him?
Tammy Abraham.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek was on that field. Christian Pulisic was on that field. Olivier Giroud was on that field.
Oh gosh, who's the defender? X.
Tamori was on that field.
Tamori.
Here we go.
I love Tamori.
That was the ex-Chelsea game. That was just an old Chelsea trainer match.
Yeah.
It's just plants for when we finally get there, man.
Dude, but yeah, man. Moving forward to the Champions League. Ian Maatsen is who you're talking about, Patrick. Had a great game against Madrid. I think he scored.
He did. He scored the second goal.
As much as I'm gutted and disgusted about it, some spicy. The rest of the Champions League should be fun for sure.
Oh yeah.
PSG, Dortmund, bro. Dortmund. I kind of fancy Dortmund, man. I'm not.
PSG and Dortmund have already played each other. They were in the group.
Yeah, and those are some tight games. I watched them, dude. That you've always talked about it, Patrick. That yellow wall, man.
It's a game changer, man. Like
yeah, dude.
It really is. I think though that UEFA is going to make sure that we get PSG Real.
Nah, man. I honestly think that Dortmund's style, I've heard, in a boxing saying that styles make fights.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Dortmund's love of the counter will suit them perfectly against Paris.
Yes.
I think it'll be a great game. But unfortunately, we lost our Man City fan there right as we're about to.
He knows. That's because he knows.
Go into the biggest game of the weekend.
Because he knows.
All right. What you telling me, boys? Chelsea City at Wembley in the FA Cup semifinal.
I swear if Sterling starts.
It's against City. Of course he's going to start.
Patrick, I swear, bro, that Posh is going to get it wrong. If that dude's on the team sheet, I don't care who else is on the team sheet, it's wrong. 100% wrong. Pass fail. There is no grade. If he's starting on that team sheet, it's
already wrong.
It's already wrong. 110%.
Oh, man.
We've looked so much better on that side without him in the press. We've looked more cohesive, more coverage. It's just I don't understand what he produces in the final third that makes him.
But he hasn't started in a couple of games.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He can't just hop back in. There's no way.
Lewis, is there a hangover? Are we tired from 120 minutes?
No.
Are we worried?
I think every game the teams go in they're cautiously optimistic. It's a 1-game season, so because the last game is done, it's done. The team were holders. Now the competition is focused on where now you start to streamline it to win a treble 2 years in a row. I mean, clearly it's a rare occurrence for a reason. So
it's a never occurrence.
Right. So if looking at that, the goal was always to focus on this one and then focus on the next one. So we know Ortega is going to be the starting keeper. Stones will start in this game. I expect Ake to play this one as well. I think Walker will probably play. I think Walker will probably be on there because I do.
We're gonna see Mud Dog
because I think either Sterling. I think Sterling will start, which is awful. But
bro, I swear to you guys, I swear.
I'm sorry.
He's got the experience.
I might turn the game. I might.
He also has a goal in both games against him this year.
I might not even watch it if I see him on the starting lineup, bro. I'm telling you.
So you got that, and then. I think De Bruyne. I think Alvarez starts this game over Haaland. No, I lied. I think Haaland will start because I think the point is now it's about trying to make sure he has confidence going forward. So I think he probably will start, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Alvarez start.
I would. The way Chelsea don't defend the back post on crosses, and you're not gonna play the 19-foot tall Norse god?
Yeah, But I'm not saying that's why I say my rationale for starting him is that you want to kind of get him to see the goal because he hadn't scored. Like he's been really out of form, and it's funny because a guy's out of form with 20 something goals is pretty insane. But
Tied for the golden boot, baby. He has the gold.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when you score 70 goals last season.
Yeah. But I mean, if this was his first season, people would still look at it and be like, "Hey, man,
That's a good season.
They would sort of look at things in a different way." I don't really see much change. I think maybe Bernardo doesn't start, but I think Doku might start this game instead of Bernardo because Doku's been so good the last couple of games. He's been electric
in the middle.
I don't know because Gusto's been locking people up.
Yeah,
and I think that Grealish.
No, I think Grealish will start. I think Doku
will give Gusto more of a.
No, I think Doku will play the opposite wing. I don't think Bernardo will start. I think Kova, Rodri, and De Bruyne are in the center.
Yeah.
Doku versus Cucurella.
I guess
Doku versus Cucurella.
Anybody versus Cucurella. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. Doku versus Cucu.
Yeah, but I think Doku starts the game. I think Grealish and Doku are the wings. Sure. But that means
cold.
That means Foden sits.
I think Foden plays in the middle, and maybe Kovacic doesn't start because I know Rodri's going to play, De Bruyne is going to play. So I guess maybe they play the middle. Foden, De Bruyne.
Do you realize his record's still intact?
I understand it, but it's so weird because there's literally 2 losses in there. I mean, they're penalty losses, but they're 2 losses.
Still counts as draws.
Hey, man.
To be fair, Rodri did not have a great game, and they were knocked out of the tournament.
True.
To be fair, I think we should take City to 120, make them extra tired.
And then hope Bernardo chips one to Petrovic again?
Well, he'd have to be on. I really don't think he's going to start this game.
If this goes to penalties and Bernardo gets to take one, does he do the Panenka again?
Oh, that's cold.
Talk about Talk about absolute ice in the veins. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to go for this again.
Because the chances...
They can't ever expect me to try it again.
Imagine Petrovic is like, oh, he's doing it again.
He's going to do it again. Same. Yeah, he just... Oh, no, because Petrovic is like, there's no way, and dives early.
Oh, yeah. He'll pull a Raya and dive before he's even got to the ball.
Just shoot it that way.
Dude, Harry Kane has come out and said that and made a comment about that. About the fact that he knows David Raya dives early, and that's why he stuttered.
Yeah, like Ryan.
You don't think he does his homework?
Know your opposition.
You don't think he does his homework? Harry Kane's one of the greatest strikers in this era.
You're going into an FA Cup semifinal, you bet your bottom dollar, Petrovic, that's like all he's doing is studying your penalty kick taking tendencies, of course.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that that's where it's going to go? Are you hoping that that's where it's going to go? Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. In order to, do you really believe in you being able to win in the 90 without taking it to pins, without really pushing them all the way?
Yes. Yes. You know why? I don't care because we have to, for one, but yes. I really do, actually. I really do.
So are you guys kind of banking on City being tired and being, or do you think because both games this season have been 4-4, 1-1, City haven't, you guys tend, I heard an idea about the fact that Pochettino's style is kind of set up to play against better teams than his.
That's why
you struggle against worse teams.
Yes.
Because they make you break them down. Whereas when Chelsea can sit back in a nice tight formation, they're more comfortable.
Yep.
Because the press that he's running, it's awkward in the sense that the press is with or without the ball. Like these boys aren't necessarily supposed to be breaking. He wants that formation to stay whether or not we have the ball or not. That way we're always in it. Like that seems to just, then that's the crux, because teams that play well and play their game and want to implement their game on you fit inside it fit inside those formations. Whereas like what you're saying, when we play Bournemouth, when we play Sheffield, when they make all of us collapse in on ourselves and then just smack, because they know our defense is Swiss cheese. It doesn't matter who's back there. It's either he's too old to make the run, so it's a mistake, or too young to know that it's coming, so therefore they make the mistake. Like it is night and day. Like, yes, we have all the experience in the world in Silva, can't quite do it. No experience in the world in DCIC. He's athletic, he's good, but he gets caught out in position a lot, and he banks on his athleticism. I like that in a defender. But again, at this
good
level,
for a goal.
At this either side,
we're not sure which goal it's going in.
Either side,
he'll put it in the net.
But it's so yes, I would honestly agree with that, just because we stay in such that collapsed shape. Even with the ball, we are right there on top of each other, and it's supposed to be these dink and dive 1-2s that we've seen. That's how Palmer's getting away with so many, is because Jackson commands the ball, he holds it, and he just lays it off inside the 1-2. And Palmer's making that. He knows Palmer's making that run, because that's what that's the mindset we have in that winger. He's going to be making that cut run to split the defenders. Just get it into the gap.
I think the biggest decision Poch has for Saturday, what's the midfield three?
Oh, it's the 3.
Do you want that, or do you think that?
I think that's what it's going to be.
What do you want?
It's Connor, Caicedo, Enzo.
What do you want? What would you prefer? I can see it. You don't want them together because you just won 6-0 without them.
Because they play, and I've said it. You've said it. You've pointed it out, and a lot of Chelsea people who aren't diehard Chelsea fans have said it. They are too similar. They do. They play the same game. They are the same player. One's just more physical, whereas one more finesse. Like, they are the same player, though. They do the same exact job in their deployment. They play. Their skill set is very similar. Like, they are very similar players, and it's hard to gel them together. It would honestly be the crux of why Gerrard and Lampard, it's probably a good thing that they never played together, because they would have brought each other down. It's just a carbon copy.
Well, they did. And they did.
And they did, right. It's because you play so, like, you're going to be in the space, because I'm already heading there. That's my game. I'm playing that. Why are you here? And it's like, oh, no, that's my game. I'm playing. Like, and I don't like seeing them together. But, yes, as far as who I would want there, bro.
Why not the same 3? Palmer, Connor. Or, I mean, you do have Chukwuemeka, who could play that Gallagher role.
I just
but
don't
you know
think
Gallagher's
I would rather him play that Gallagher role. If Gallagher's going to play, he needs to play further back.
Yes, do not let him be in the. Yeah,
no, that's the role I'm talking about. That's the role I'm talking about. Because if you don't play Enzo, he's probably playing a double pivot and letting Palmer have the freedom in front of the 2 defenders.
I mean,
what do you think,
Palmer.
Patrick?
I mean, I think all 3 play. I think that, unfortunately, we see Connor as a 10, and he clogs up the middle of the pitch again.
I don't understand. You had such success.
Yep.
Okay, it was Everton, but Everton had the 4th best defense in the league, and you smoked them for 6.
Connor in the middle, or sorry.
How is that not evidence enough? I just don't understand. How is that not evidence enough to try that again? But you guys are clearly convinced he won't do that.
No, I don't think I don't think Nani's his, like, I don't think he likes Madueke over there.
I don't think he does either.
So play Sterling.
So I think he'll go Jackson.
Play Sterling, Dog Jackson.
Connor, and
make Sterling play on the other side. I agree. Just make him do it. Yo, go play right. Well, you've played left wing. Go play. You know how to play the wing.
Aren't you supposed to be the guy? You wanted to step up and be the man this season?
But
do what you got to do for the team.
But actually, you want Connor on the right if he's not going to play in the center because Gusto will create space because he overlaps really well.
And I like Connor playing close to Cucurella. I really do, because Cucurella knows Connor, even though he's not the most physically commanding midfielder, will dive into he will just absolutely obliterate you into the ball. He will throw his body into it. He will come, and he comes to the rescue because he has that drive and hustle in him that it takes when he's dropping back into, like, playing next to Silva and Cucurella, I think bolsters the weak points in our defense when it comes to physicality and speed, which they are going to have. I like Connor playing that further role back there, and I like Palmer in the middle. I think Palmer in the middle's because he gets more of the ball, and if he's going to be the most creative player on our team, why not create a space for him to have more of the ball? Why would you play Messi out on the wing, not just bring him right into the middle of the field and create the pocket for him? That's what Barcelona did. They had him out here, and they just shoveled him into the middle and said, everything's now working around you. Okay. If it works, it works. They can't stop him.
If it ain't broke.
Right. Give Hazard the ball. We've heard on this here, bro. We've seen this pony show. Like, give him the ball.
Absolutely.
So
Lewis,
go ahead. I saw something, speaking of Enzo, he is getting some kind of shots before a game.
His hernia. He's debating whether to have surgery.
I've heard he's had a hernia.
It is. It's a hernia, yeah. He's playing with it, but you can play with it. It's just
well, just go have surgery, Doug. Your team won 6-0 without you.
It's 3 weeks or 6 weeks before you can rehab it. It's the same surgery I had.
So he's just waiting for the end of the month, the end of the season.
End of the season, yeah. You can play on them. It's just they're painful, bro.
It's so painful.
It's the same one I had. Yeah, it's the same exact thing. I feel so bad for him.
Well, Lewis, I've asked you about how the Champions League might affect this game. What do you think Man City are thinking of as far as what Chelsea are going to offer?
Well, I mean, first, I think it's very interesting the sort of mentality that they go into it, because while Chelsea is different than Real Madrid, they're the same. Because if we look at the same, the first time we played Real Madrid, goals everywhere, right? First time we played Chelsea, goals everywhere. One was quality and one was less quality, but there was goals everywhere. The second time they played, you see that adjustments were made on both sides by both teams, but again, you still get the similar outcome, right? Because I mean, both games were draws, right?
Y'all aren't a tax write-off if we lose to you, so we show up. So yes.
So because of that, you look at that, and I think that this for sure is something that Pep goes into recognizing that they respect Chelsea because they know Chelsea gets up for them. And I think it'll be a little bit different because I'm being honest. I think if you looked at how Real Madrid played, they went into the game very, very sort of timidly, very pensively. I don't think Chelsea comes in that way, because Chelsea comes in and you're like, we have nothing to lose. Nothing. And
Literally
so I think Pep anticipates that. Because he anticipates that, I think I'm being honest, I think the game is going to be pretty open. And because I think it'll be open, while I don't know if it'll be a ton of goals, I do think there will be goals scored. In my mind, I got and I know we're not doing predictions for this, but I got like a 3-2 City. I got to do predictions. City. I think Chelsea will absolutely score. I think Palmer gets one because he's been hot, and to say he hasn't been in good form would be, I mean, I keep the bias.
He's outscored the whole Liverpool team in the month of March, I think it was, or something like that. No, since the month of March, that's what it was. He's outscored the whole Liverpool team. He's got
when you put 7 in 2 games is.
Well, they have 9 total so far. Listen, we were not too far removed from us having our goal of the month being the one goal that we actually scored that month.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love that. But yeah, I agree, Lewis. I definitely think it's going to be open.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like a 2-2 to overtime. Maybe someone nicks it in overtime. Poch playing for penalties again. But we won't count that. We won't count the predictions towards the predictions league. But we can make some. What do you guys think?
I'm going to go 2-1. I think that defensively, there's a little bit of confidence after getting a clean sheet for once. I think there's a hangover for City a little bit. They are scary. They could go and drop a 4 spot on us, and I wouldn't be surprised by any means.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that we'll be the more longevity team. I know City's going to play probably Rico Lewis and some guys who didn't play a lot or play at all on Wednesday.
My baby.
But I think that I think we win 2-1 in regular time.
Hell yeah! What you saying, X?
3-2.
Regular time, 90 minutes.
I do.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna hit one early. Because I don't think City comes out as hot. I don't think they can. Call my bluff.
Poke the bear.
Don't right. And then it's game on because we like to score and be like, "Oh, we did it! We did it! We won the game!" And
Woo!
it's like, no.
There's still 80 minutes to play.
Clock. It's not you score and go. It's not golden goal, my guy. It's just.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Absolutely, man. Well, it's gonna be fun.
I think,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
What'd you say, Lewis?
I think it's gonna be an awesome game.
Sam?
Yeah,
We said 3-2 City.
3-2 City.
Yeah.
I think there will be goals.
There
Now,
will be
the funniest
Yeah.
thing will be it goes and it's like a 1-0, and you're like, God, are we serious?
Grinder. Just an absolute
Yeah.
mill.
That would make Pochettino happy, probably.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Of
Well, that's
course.
because he doesn't have to look on the sidelines and go,
Unless it's a City one now.
when we get scored
You thought I
on,
was
they
thinking
show
something
him
else?
on his monitor every time. Every time. Every time. It does not matter. It does not matter. Even when Disasi scored his goal, he's looking at the monitor going, like,
Poch looks bamboozled. Full stop.
just sitting
Period.
there. Like, he has a bamboozled face. He has,
You see Klopp sitting on the
he
cooler
has
today?
RBF. He has resting bamboozled face.
You see Klopp sitting on the cooler today in Italy? Yeah, that's Poch all the time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Resting bamboozled face.
But yeah, man. Cup Chasers Derby, it's going to be fun. It's going to be back and forth. I hate that it's at the same time as some of the Prem games, but it will definitely be the one I'm watching, at least on the TV. And, yeah, it's going to be a good one. Should be lots of goals. I agree with that.
Yep.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Across the bracket, on the other side, on Sunday, Man United facing Coventry City.
Coventry, baby!
I'm pretty sure most, if not all, non-Manchester United fans are cheering for Coventry City on this
Actually,
one.
no, I want United in the final because we don't show up against poor teams.
You know, the Mud Brother final, the Mud Bowl FA Cup final might actually be fun because no one's going to defend, and it might be a crazy NBA game. It might be an awesome basketball game. Chelsea are going to have 37 shots.
United's going to have 28 shots.
United's going to score 3 goals. Chelsea will have 47 shots, and it'll be crazy. But
and we go to PKs, and it just makes no sense.
I actually watched Coventry against Wolves in that quarterfinal, and they're not inspiring to watch. They're not. They play some good stuff, of course, but
they want a rock fight, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and the reason Wolves lost is straight up they didn't take it seriously. They're like, oh, we're gonna walk this. It's championship side. They're in 8th place in the championship. We got this. And FA Cup got punched in the mouth, got slogged right in the mouth. Haji Wright at the death. Coventry never gave up, kept going, and I think they have a shot, man. Man United are not great, and even against Coventry, I don't expect United to like control the ball.
Well, what you worry about is United getting some early goal off of some BS, because that's always possible with them.
Well, then they'll just sit back, and it'll be
True.
one-way traffic.
But the thing
It might be that anyway.
Does Coventry have the ability to take advantage of that?
I don't know. I know they got the heart. You know, they've definitely got the never say die. But I think if you look at it in terms of like quality, yeah, it's Man U all day long. But it's a semifinal of it's at Wembley, it's a cup game, and they already have proven themselves against Premier League opposition. There's no reason to like have any kind of imposter syndrome. There's no reason to be cowed, or intimidated. Man, you are awful this season, and so I think they're gonna go into this game like, no one expects us to do anything. So if we lose, it's not even like whatever, I think the Coventry will come in, with feeling like, we got an outside shot at this. We can do this, Literally every game, man, you play this season, they pretty much scumbag their way through the game and then get points, steal points at the end. That's not how it works in cup competitions, man. So this one could be a lot closer than people are thinking, especially if Coventry make United have the ball and try to break them down. Yeah, so there might be a shock here, and Coventry might make a final.
That would be ideal.
That'd be crazy, man.
1-1 to PKs.
Yeah, I can see that. I think United will go through narrowly, just because that's kind of what they do, is they just scrape through games just to piss people off,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think United will go through probably
2-1.
If I had to be really mean, it'll be a Scotty McTominay 89th Fergie time winner.
Messi.
And it'll just sink. It'll be really unfair to Coventry.
Yeah,
it's just going to be super unfair to Coventry.
2-1. It'll be 2-1 because they'll battle it out 1-1. Coventry's going to score first, be riding high. United's going to get some Bernardo Silva giveaway at midfield. Absolutely.
Some Bruno Fernandes BS.
Bruno Fernandes gifting. Just absolute Santa Clauses it over into the midfield. What was the first thing I learned playing midfield? You never cross the ball or pass the ball through the middle. Do not let it, do not.
Especially without looking up.
Right.
Hey, I hope someone's there.
Yeah, someone was there, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah. Whoops.
But yeah, it'll be 2-1 late. Scotty McTominay, 93rd minute, 2 minutes over the 91 that they called for stoppage.
I gotta say, at the end of a just horrific week, if Coventry beat United, it's gonna make me so happy. Just make my heart so happy. I'm not gonna lie, Lewis. I'm sorry, but if Chelsea beats City, I'll be very, very happy as well. I'm done with City winning stuff. I'm done with
it. You just need them on a losing streak so you can cap.
They're long enough to become a villain.
Yeah. Pretty much. No, I want to see them. I want to see City crash and burn. Like I'm tired of
winning.
winning.
I need Europe. Me too, man.
Let other people win stuff.
We
And you know
steal
what?
this. It does not matter what we come in.
Although at the end of the day, like if I really think about it, if Chelsea win the FA Cup and then finish 6th place, like, has Poch actually done a good job?
He
Like,
turned
it's
it around.
blowing my mind. It's blowing my
Turned it around.
mind. Like, is
We're
Poch
still-
about to win? Is Poch going to be manager of the season?
No, you stop it. No.
Bro, from where you've been, how bad you've been this season.
Bro,
If
listen.
you finish 6th place and win the FA Cup, that is the craziest accomplishment.
Because everyone else below Tottenham on the points, like, it's awful. Just because they're doing bad doesn't mean you're doing a good job.
That's true.
Just because
You're
they
doing awful. You're not doing a good job. You're terrible. You're awful. And if you make 6th place, being the literal worst Chelsea we've ever seen,
that just tells you
how
how
could
bad
you not?
everyone else
How could
is.
you not give? You have to give Poch some kind of props for.
I don't know
It's a
how
madness.
I don't know how
It's
a
an
top
absolute
7 can
madness.
have a negative goal difference. This baffles me. Like, I don't understand it. He's not doing a good job. Do not give him those props. He is not doing a good job.
Just saying, man. If you make 6th place
Oh,
off the back of the worst season I've ever seen Chelsea have, that's
we make
he's
6th
got to get
place-
something.
If we make
some
6th
credit.
place and we win the
Or
FA Cup,
is it just X? Is it just all hail Cole Palmer?
well, it's all hell Cole Palmer. We're a players club, bro.
That's all it is.
All the
Always have been, always will be.
all the
It's just all hail. Palmer scores another 19 goals in the next 6 games. Just
Oh.
goes off. Scores another 10, 11 goals, and yep, that's Poch. You're fired. It's all Palmer. Palmer,
all
can you
Palmer.
coach?
You're done. Hey, Palmer, player coach, pull a glit.
Yeah. Oh my god, but yeah, I would love to see Coventry City into the final of the FA Cup. But that is, of course, not all that is going on this weekend. We do got some predictions in the Premier League, as there are some very, very important games down at the bottom. Now, Sheffield Burnley is not exactly the most important game, so we'll get that one out of the way. It is, if I think Burnley, if they're gonna stay up, gotta win. It is away at Sheffield, and I think because both teams are really bad, there's going to be goals, so I've said 2-2. I still don't think there'll be anything to separate them. Sheffield at home are marginally better.
Especially when
So
you
I
let
think-
them get back into the game after you score a goal.
I'm going to go Burnley 2-1
2-1 to Burnley. They need it.
because there
That's
will
for
be
sure.
goals.
What you think, Lewis? Your boy Vince? Is he going to do it? He's got to have this one.
It's gotta have this.
Well, Burnley hasn't kept the clean sheet in 16 matches, and Sheffield hasn't kept the clean sheet in 13 matches. So that will give me my score margin of 3-2. Burnley.
3-2 Burnley. Nice. I definitely expect there to be goals. What you say, Patrick?
I think it's a 2-1 Burnley. I think, again, there are matches when you're at the bottom of the table that you look at and you say, hey, we can get this one. This is one of them. And it puts them back in the race to potentially stay up at that point, too.
I mean, yeah, especially since all the other teams are playing against each other. Speaking of,
And there's
The
a
big
chance
one.
that Everton loses more points. I mean, there's still time.
yeah, hey, we'll go to Everton. Segues are weird. That one, oh yeah, there's still a point. The deduction derby, Everton versus Forest. The points deduction rivalry match. It's at Goodison Park. Now I looked at some of the statistics. Everton have not scored more than once in 5 games. Forest have not scored more than once away from home in quite a while.
This is my 0-0 of the week, boys.
0-0 of the week. Straight out the rip. Yeah. They're not great. Everton. Forest are marginally better, but at Goodison,
No one's gonna score. Stone
I said-
wall
1-1.
1-1.
I
Most
said 1-1.
games. I mean, not a lot of games go 0-0 these days.
No, especially with I mean, Everton, we thought they were good defensively, and then they let Chelsea put 6 past them. So I don't know.
They owed us one, man. I told you they owed
I
us one.
guess so. What was saying, Patrick?
I think that after being absolutely dressed down this week, I think this is one of those gut check moments. You know, it's been a tough season. You've had points deducted multiple times now. You still can control your destiny unless the FA says no, you can't.
Well, that's what makes this even more important.
I think this is a 1-0 for Everton.
Yeah, they need it. Yeah, it's absolutely massive, man. It's one of those games where, yes, there's still 6 games to go, but it's Forest. It's the team that's directly below you. Like I had the table up. Yeah, they're literally 1 point behind you. You're tied on goal difference. Like this,
And
you gotta have this
Everton has a game in hand too.
do they?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it even worse. That makes it even more important. You got to have this one. You absolutely have to have this one. What you think,
So
Lewis?
if they do that, then I think that they stay up at that point. I think if they win this weekend, I think they end up staying up.
Would you say the same for Forest?
No.
Because they don't have that game in hand.
No, and also
Yeah.
because I was Forest still has to they host Chelsea. They have to go to City, I think, still. Who was the other one?
I got it right here. Yeah, Forest or play City next, then Sheffield, then Chelsea, and then
Burnley.
Burnley.
So,
Oh wow.
so it's interesting because you got Sheffield, Burnley, Everton, and in between there you got City and Chelsea. And Chelsea's
Dude, their game against
the points at that point.
their game against you is going to be
It's huge.
massive.
It will determine if they will stay up. If they don't win this, it will determine if they stay up or not. Which I don't look forward to because it'll be a freaking
That'll be so bad for you guys, and that'll be at Forest.
yeah.
So, yeah, what you saying, Lewis?
So I looked, and Everton's 1 win in the last 5 was at home against a similar positioned opponent. Forest, every time they went away, nothing. I mean, it was Luton, but it was a draw. And you look and you see that Forest haven't scored 1 away in 9 matches, having kept a clean sheet in 9.
Mm-hmm.
And Everton have scored 3 goals in 5 games. Now we look and we say, well, they're not going to score a bunch. So I have a 1-0 as well.
Speaking of Everton, let's talk about this real quick. This is their run-in. Forest, host Liverpool,
Hey.
host Brentford. They go to
So
the Kenny.
Oh, so big.
They host Sheffield, and they end the season at the Emirates.
Ooh.
So they got to get it.
Wow. Yo.
Yep.
Their whole run-in is massive.
Yeah.
Their whole run-in. The whole run-in because
Besides that whole bottom table.
because the Liverpool game is special because it's Liverpool.
And it's at Goodison. And it's the
then
last
the
Liverpool
other-
game at Goodison, too.
And then the other 4
Last
games.
ever? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, because they're moving into the new stadium next year.
Oh,
Yep.
that's right.
Yep.
Oh.
And so-
Oh.
And the other 4 games before the end of the season, before the Arsenal game,
Oh my
Forest, Luton, Brentford, Sheffield.
Hey, so you know how? Hey, here's a conspiracy theory for you. So you know how we said the FA hates Everton, right? They want them. They want them gone.
Yeah.
Klopp lifts the trophy at Goodison on the last day they ever play at
No,
Goodison.
he won't be able to. That'll be
He won't be
Wednesday.
able to. It's not mathematically possible
He can't.
He can't. No.
because that's Wednesday.
Oh, I thought you said it was their last game.
No, the last game at Goodison.
They play us in the last game.
Oh, they play you guys in the
Their
last
last game at Goodison in general is Sheffield United.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
the
thought
last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park
I see.
is Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought he said the last game of the season was at Goodison against Liverpool.
They play us. They're at the Emirates.
And they go to the Kenny and they go to the Emirates.
But before the Emirates, it's Brentford, Sheffield, Luton.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the season. That's the whole season right there.
Yeah.
It's the whole season, and including tomorrow, including the Friday or Saturday.
Then y'all can go chill on the beach. You win those, you can go chill on the beach.
So speaking of Luton, hosting Brentford. Absolutely massive. Absolutely gigante. Okay.
I love when we get to this time of the season because you start to really break down the schedule and you're like, do they have a chance? I'm going to say Luton does not if they don't win this.
Gotta win it. Have to have this game.
Because
they're running away to Wolves.
They got to go to West Ham.
No, they host Everton. They host Everton and they host Fulham. But they're away to West Ham and they're away to Wolves.
Right. Yeah, my bad. They have 3 home games left, 2 on the road.
Yeah, man. For Luton, it's do or die. This is do or die because Molineu's going to be tough. London Stadium's going to be tough, and Fulham at home on the last day is going to be really tough. Fulham might be on the beach.
They might be on the beach.
That might be their only saving grace if they're still in it by then. But you absolutely, unequivocally, must beat Brentford and Everton. Have no choice. You got to. So this game right here, it's a cup final. Luton 100% absolutely have to beat Brentford, and I'm calling it. Come on, Hatters, 2-1. Let's go. I want to see it, man. I want to see it. They're spamming the crosses in. I want to see Carlton Morris finally getting on the score sheet, finally scoring the goals they need him to get them over the line to survival. I want to see it, man. I really do. It might be a heart pick because Brentford are strong and they need the points as well. But Luton are good at home. Come on, Luton, 2-1.
I think Brentford's going to be okay. I was looking at their run-in. There are a couple bogeys on their run-in. They've got, of course, they go to Luton. They go to Everton. Then they host Fulham. They go to Bournemouth, and they host Newcastle.
I think one win and they're safe, Brentford.
Yeah, I think they're going to be okay. So Luton's really got to throw the kitchen sink at this one.
Absolutely have to. What's your score?
2-2.
Mm-hmm.
It pains me because I really want Luton to stay up, but I just don't think they will.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's in their hands. Well, because if they beat Everton, they got to beat Everton, but they got to beat Brentford as well. What you say, Alex?
I think Brentford's got this. I'm the exact opposite, 2-1.
2-1. Couple of Tony goals, sinking hearts, huh?
That's it, man.
What you got, Lewis?
It's interesting because I look at them and, Brentford haven't won an away match in their last 5. And Luton haven't kept a clean sheet in 13. But you look at their results, Luton have a draw and a win at home in the last 2 home fixtures. And Brentford away, they have a draw. And so I think it's a draw. And even though in my head it was 2-2 and Patrick said 2-2, I agree with his 2-2.
Boom. 2-2 draw. I can definitely see that. Very likely. Should be a good game, that one. Next, I want to go to Villa hosting Bournemouth. Aston Villa have just gone to penalties with Lille. Tough match. They had to score in the 90th to cause overtime and penalties. Bournemouth, however, have been chilling. Will there be a hangover? It's at Villa Park. I got 2-1 Villa. I think they'll be all right. It's on Sunday, so they got another day of rest.
I think Villa will be all right. I'll go 2-0.
2-0. Bournemouth don't always travel well.
No. 2-0.
Makes sense. We're saying Lewis.
So as I look at their results, Villa draw, win, and then you have Bournemouth away, loss. So I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Villa win at home.
Statistically sound. What you saying, Patrick?
I think Villa is going to. I think that they can breathe a sigh of relief for once. And I think what's funny is you get teams who haven't been in Europe and they get to this point and it's like, okay, should we really be here, or is this like a fairy tale kind of run, or are we supposed to be here? And I think that Villa's going to have that mindset now that they've gotten past Lille, which they should have done this at home. Like it should have been totally decided.
They won at home. They won 2-1.
I think it was like 2-1, right? Yeah. So I mean, they didn't win convincingly. But my point being, though, is I think Dom Solanke, he's going to get a goal. I actually saw something today where somebody was trying to link us with him, and I'm like, no, we've already had that experiment.
Well, no, we don't.
Different Solanke. Different
No,
Solanke. He's
no.
doing better.
It's just like, don't wear the 9 at Chelsea.
He also
don't do it.
forced his
Don't
way
do
out.
it. Don't do it, Fernando Torres.
Don't.
It was kind of a messy breakup. Like we went to arbitration and everything. It was yeah. It was a little.
Don't air out your dirty laundry here.
I know, right? So that said, I think Solanke gets a goal, but I think Villa, Ollie Watkins with the brace, and I'm going to give Douglas Luiz, a goal as well. 3-1 to Villa.
3-1 to the Villains. And we got one more before we get into the juiciest of the remaining fixtures. Palace are hosting West Ham. The Hammers dealt a hammer blow in the 90th today from Leverkusen as the German fairy tale stays undefeated. Will West Ham at Palace have the hangover from Europe? I at first went 2-1 West Ham, but then I thought about the fact that Oliver Glasner is going a little bit under the radar, at Palace. He's got some pedigree, has won the Europa League with Eintracht Frankfurt, beat
Which is
Liverpool.
a heck of an accomplishment in itself.
Absolutely. Beat Liverpool at Anfield for the first time in 30 games. So I went 2-2. Elise and Eze both fit.
Yeah, I mean, with those two, man, I still want us to get Elise. Like, even though
I've heard Arsenal linked with Elise. I love it. I would love that.
I think Eze is the straw that stirs that drink. I think Elise, he's got so much potential that's not being realized at this point.
Out of Palace.
Yeah. Knowing those two are going to be there, and they're hosting them, I think we get a hangover. I think we get a 2-1 Palace win, which should probably secure their safety, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
That puts them at 36, and they're running.
I don't think Palace will have. Yeah, they're fine. They'll be fine.
Well, they got an interesting run in though. West Ham,
But
Newcastle,
one win does it.
Man United, Wolves, Villa.
One win does it though.
So I think this is where you get it. So 2-1.
It might be their only win.
Yep.
2-1.
2-1 Palace.
Yep. What's saying X?
1-1.
Yep.
I can't bet on Palace to win, man. Every time I
Fair
do,
enough.
they let me down.
Fair
But
enough.
we're not betting. Technically.
Sorry.
Or
Sorry.
are we? What you got,
Are we?
Lewis?
Schematics. I know.
Palace's form is super inconsistent. Like they've only had one game at home in the last 5, and they lost to City. But they scored early and they scored first. I can see them scoring early and first in this one as well. And I think kind of riding that Liverpool high. You look at West Ham and I don't know what you get there either. This feels like a draw. Like it totally feels like a draw. I don't see a ton of goals, so I'll go 1-1.
1-1. Yeah, I think they're pretty evenly matched. Be interesting to see how West Ham bounce back from the loss in Europe. But on Sunday, at Craven Cottage, will the Reds of Liverpool bounce back? That is the question.
Have to.
I've gone for a heart pick. I'm hoping that they, once again, a little bit lackluster. They did put in some effort, put in some energy in Italy, and they have to travel back. So, and Fulham, man. Fulham are tricky customers this season. Beat Arsenal at the Cottage. Still hurts. Still stings. Are Liverpool going to be super wasteful like they've been the last couple of games? What are we saying?
Look, man, I'm going to go with Fulham.
That's a hard pick.
I think Liverpool are on this domino. I think we might have seen the tip of the iceberg, or the peak of their season. I don't think they had the staying power. I mean, y'all said it time and time again on the pod. It's about the staying power. They've been up here. It's just, can they stay up here? Can they stay relevant in the top 3 race? And if they let this one slip, just like they did, I mean, they let themselves slip for the last 3 games.
Yep. So Fulham, you got Fulham winning?
2-1.
2-1 to the Cottagers. What you saying, Patrick?
I don't think this is a slip up. I think that they have gotten slapped in the face the last 3 games out. There's nothing else to play for except for the league now. I actually think that takes a little bit of pressure off of them, actually. I think we see a 4-1 pool win here.
Ooh, convincing.
Thrashing.
4-1. So all of the pent up miss after miss after miss, they're finally getting it on target against Fulham. That's not going to be good for old Bert Leno. What you saying, Lewis?
Yeah, he's my fantasy keeper. He's been really good so far, but yeah, I don't feel comfortable about it.
Oh, you poor soul.
Yeah.
Got to get wrecked.
What you think, Lewis?
I look at Liverpool and I'm not really sure who they are. And I mean, they won today, obviously, or whatever they played. I think it's today.
Yeah, they played today.
But they've been super inconsistent. They're good for a goal in the league. I mean, the Crystal Palace thing is just because I think they were focused on the next game, which was the Europa Cup. Fulham is inconsistent too, man. And so because Liverpool likes to give a goal, I expect them to give at least one. But I also think Liverpool's better than them. Just they're going to sort of have that we are Liverpool kind of thing going on. And the retirement tour will be, hey, just don't embarrass us in places we shouldn't be embarrassed. So I think it's 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 to Liverpool. I think this is going to be an interesting one. I think that we've saw today Klopp sitting on the cooler. He's definitely tired. He's definitely, like he's professed already in the season. He's, things aren't really going his way. They're missing
Hanging out
lots
on
of
the
chances. Mohamed Salah was awful today.
Yeah.
Like, sorry about you, bro. You were not good. Missed a lot of chances, some bad touches, not some good control. Very uncharacteristic. Like I was like, he's on a skid, and it's surprising. And while I think he'll probably have a better performance against Fulham, but also Fulham have been doing really well. They didn't just play on Thursday in a very demoralizing away ground where, yes, we scored 7 minutes in, but we didn't do much else
Anything
for the rest of the game, and yeah, man, I think the wheels have definitely at least hit a rut, and this may be a little bit of hopium, but I think Fulham can Fulham can get a result. I think it's going to be 2-2. I've gone for a 2-2. The Klopp stumbling to retirement tour continues, which only leaves last, but of course certainly not least in my eyes, the wandering Wolves hosting the Arsenal at Molineux.
I think this is a good time for you guys. I really do.
You think it's a favorable matchup for us?
I think it's a good time to have Wolves for you guys. I think you can beat up on them. I think you can command the game on them. Because if they play you open, y'all are better at it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be the exact opposite of Bayern. You'll be the team where it's position for position. Oh, if you want to play this game, we know we're better than you, quality-wise. So I think y'all show face. I think y'all get back into it because, again, league's main focus now, right?
Absolutely is. I think it's very important to bounce back mentally. Of course, we can't linger on the Champions League, and because the league is still there, and I think we play last, so
you'll know
as long as Liverpool doesn't win by 11 goals, or however many, we have a chance to go top. And
no, you play before Liverpool. You play Saturday afternoon, and then
we play last on Saturday. Yeah,
you play last.
So yeah,
plays last on Sunday.
Same thing. Same thing applies though. We can still go top. I think Neto is injured, either again or still. So I don't think Neto will be playing. He didn't play in their last game.
Yeah, I think he's out for the year actually.
Wolves have lost 3 of their last 5 games at home. We haven't been scored on in the last 5 away league games. Everything's, pointing toward just bouncing back. I just worry about the mentality. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued as to the lineup. I think that it could be an instance where we see some rotation.
Maybe
if Saka.
Maybe Thomas
What?
Who knows?
Maybe. I would love to see Thomas Partey in this game, actually, now that you mentioned that. And I think that there's a conversation to be had about benching Saka. Now, whether if that's for rest or if that's because he's been noticeably not as good in recent weeks, or a combination of both, sure. But, I wouldn't mind seeing Martinelli, Havertz, Jesus, or Martinelli, Trossard, Jesus. But there's 2 things I know I don't want to see. And we probably, with Neto being out, we'll probably see Zinchenko again, which kind of burns me up a little bit. I'm not a fan.
Aren't you worried about Kuna at that point?
Cunha played down the middle.
Oh, he did.
In the last game. So if he does that again, and they drew with Forest 2-2, so yeah, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Zinchenko. I also wouldn't be surprised to see Kivior. which would be fine. As long as Kai Havertz is not in the middle of that midfield, I'm happy. And I think we should be fine. I think there's a chance that we're a little sluggish just because of a mental hangover, physical hangover from all that.
Sure.
But I think we're going to do it. I think we'll be able to keep the pressure on the likes of Liverpool and City, of course. And with any luck, we'll be able to go top and stay top for a bit, keep the pressure on. Points on the board are obviously better than games in hand. And so I've gone for a 2-0 Arsenal win.
That's what I went with, too.
I went 2-1.
2-1.
I think the first 15 minutes is going to say a lot, though.
Yes.
I think if y'all come out sluggish, I think that Wolves will think, okay, we can. They're not taking us.
Feel some off of them. Yep.
And we can get something off of them.
Now, where are Wolves in the table? Oh, they're
Mid-table
like-
mafia.
Or something.
They might already be on the beach,
It's possible.
You
They
hope.
might have one eye on the beach because they're not making Europe and they're not getting relegated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beach
They're
time.
safe.
It's Potter time, baby.
Comfortably
Potter time.
mid-table, so they might be at the at the spa already.
At the Potter Resort, man. That's where they're
I can
at.
only hope. What you think, Lewis?
I'm looking at it, and this is, that my knee-jerk answer is Arsenal should win, but I'm looking at these things, and so I'm picking Arsenal, but I'm looking and I'm like, so Wolves haven't kept a clean sheet in 7 matches, but Arsenal haven't scored in 2 matches, and then you have, Wolves haven't won in 5 match attempts, and then you have Arsenal who have kept the most clean sheets. It says one thing, but then it says the same thing. It's like when you see the meme where people talk out of both sides, and it's really confusing. That's what it feels like. Everything in my eyes say that Arsenal should walk this, but it's Wolves at home, and while they're not great, they are at home, and so you have to give credit to where they are. They tend to play better at home. And if I'm looking at it, I really, and Jake, you know better than I do, I really don't know, like, sort of the energy or the mentality of what I can expect the players from Arsenal to bring. On one hand, you think, well, they're going to come out to prove that they want to punch them in the face, right? And if that's the case, then I'm going 3-0. But at the same time, if this last match was a letdown, like for some it feels, and I'm not saying you, I know you said it bothered, but I've seen some things in the sphere, then I got a draw, which is, and so I really don't know. So I'm gonna go with 1-0 Arsenal, but if it's the letdown, it's for sure a 1-1 draw. But I'm gonna go 1-0 Arsenal.
Regardless, you're expecting a tight game.
Yeah,
If our mentality is not right back where it should be,
right. I don't think
struggle.
it should be tight, but it feels like it will be. I think that they're better than them, so they should win.
Yeah.
But you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Did y'all notice
Absolutely,
that
I
Spurs
agree.
don't play for 10 days?
Oh yeah, they got it easy.
Yep.
No one cares about Spurs.
Plenty of rest. They're gonna have plenty of rest. I hope you keep that same energy, and then they win me the league.
Well, the thing is everybody else has to win all their other games. I one game at a time is the mantra I live by. You all know that.
Oh yeah.
Not me. I'm already staring at all 6 fixtures. You know that.
I don't even know who the fixtures are. So
I know who you've got next in the Premier League. I know where you're at next.
I have
in the
no
Premier
idea.
League.
The only team I know they play is Chelsea, and I had to
You play
look it up
Thursday.
because it was on Sunday.
You play Thursday, my friend. You
Against
play
my-
Saturday. You play Saturday, and then you play Thursday at the
Which is
Amex.
nice because we play Tuesday.
Yeah.
At the Amex.
That's
I
our
play
game.
again before you as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you play us.
I play Chelsea. We play Chelsea before City plays
Tuesday.
again. So
Bang bang,
Arsenal-
baby.
Arsenal will have played twice in the league before City play again.
Have y'all looked at Chelsea's run-in?
It's
They have
not fun.
City this weekend for FA Cup. Then they go to Arsenal. They go to Villa. They have Spurs at home. They have West Ham
Spurs.
at home.
Oh,
They go
God.
to Forest. They go to Brighton, and then they have Bournemouth at home.
Oh yeah.
It's not fun.
No.
Nope. That's
Your
why
next
you
4
shouldn't-
games.
That's why you shouldn't drop points to Sheffield. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your
Last
next
4
5.
games
Your
are
next,
very winnable.
but your next 5, including the FA Cup.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep. 100%.
tough games, and it's gonna be an incredible weekend, man. FA Cup action on both Saturday and Sunday. We got relegation battles. We got a chance to go
FA Cup.
back top. I'm excited. Definitely looking forward to it, man. One thing that we haven't mentioned, but we'll just for a minute here at the end of the show, we'll end with this. FA Cup no longer having replays. What do we think?
Hey, end them. I get it, because my thing is that players have complained about match congestion and lots and lots of matches. So while a lot of people don't love the penalties and the way those things end, at least it's over.
Exactly.
You know, you got a definitive answer. I mean, some people hate it, but if I'm and the human in me is saying I don't want to see my players play 90 games.
Tournament games shouldn't be draws. That's how
It's over.
Here's my devil's advocate. Here's my only devil's advocate point. Say you are Newport County and Manchester United has come to town, and you have the game of your life. All your players just have the absolute crazy game, and you get a draw. Crazy 3-3 draw with Manchester United at a League 2 ground. And now Newport County, League 2, because in the FA Cup, each team gets 45% of ticket revenue, period. Regardless of who the ticket goes to. Each team gets 45% of ticket revenue. Now, at Newport County, it's about 2,000-ish, maybe. But if Newport County goes to Manchester United at a 60,000 seater stadium and gets 45% of that ticket revenue, that is monstrous for Newport County. That money is huge for Newport County.
But I'll flip it on you. Newport County, if they play well at home and get a draw, has the better chance of advancing by it being a penalty shootout.
In addition to that, I was going to go with that. You also can say, well, say we play that next match and then the star of my team gets injured in the next one, and now I lose them because I had to play an extra match because I have to travel to a place, and then your priority. And I know it's a business, but I mean, if I'm going to stick to my point about the players, then this doesn't actually so that we prioritize the money over the players. And so I think I understand it's a business, but again, just to stay in line with what I've said, I still think I'd prefer to take the shootout and the TV revenue and be Wrexham and have somebody see me and think that's awesome and look for investment in that way. And because I'm sure the leagues and the organizations that run that will find a way to find a supplemental compensatory thing to help with that. But I mean, at the end of the day, yes, I agree with that. But I mean, if I want the game at my home, I mean, hey, Manchester United is here, and I take that as my memory. And if we win them, or if we win in penalties, I'll take that over, going there and getting battered there but getting money. But
you may get the money the next round because you get drawn to Arsenal at Arsenal. So I mean, it's kind of balancing out in a way. So it puts more focus on actually trying to win at home, whether it's winning at home or getting a draw so you can go to PKs because you feel confident in getting to PKs, which maybe that will kind of bog down some games. And I mean, it's not out of the ordinary.
It's a tournament. It's a tournament. They're supposed to, you don't end tournament games and draws.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Draws
it
you
may
to the
bog
league.
down games, but what's the difference between that now and in the future? Because the little clubs usually do that. They want to bog down games and make it dirty and make it just a rock fight so that they have a chance. So I don't think there's going to be much change in the actual performance. If anything, if the FA will say, you know what, we're taking this revenue, potential revenue away from you. We'll give you 75% of the gate if you're a host team. Or they create a fund, so that, the littler clubs under, say, the championship
Mhm.
get more of a windfall for, advancing to the second round or the third round or whatnot.
I like it. Fair enough.
I just look, the Carabao Cup does not have replays.
No, it
Just
doesn't.
just the second leg in the semifinal.
I don't even think
That's
it's.
it.
Yeah,
It's a
I
two-leg
know they have
semifinal.
that this year, but will they have that next
That's
year?
always been a two-leg semifinal.
Okay.
It's weird. But yeah, that one's different because even winning the final isn't worth that much money. So
No, it's not.
the Carabao Cup is a little bit different, but yeah, interesting. FA Cup, the FA rather are eliminating all replays for next season's FA Cup. We'll see what, if any, impact that has. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to the semifinals this weekend. Looking forward
Yes,
to the
sir.
Premier League matchups, and yeah, we're here for it. I'm excited about it all, and if you are as excited as we are, go ahead and smash up the likes on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks for being here. Of course, we're on our way to that magical 1,000. And get the notification bell on for all the match reactions, weekend previews, reviews, etc. It's all here. Once again, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And you will see us next time.